Y'all want to know the spiciest series I read in 2024? Let me tell you. The Blindfold Club by Nikki Sloane gave me everything I could have asked for, wanted, needed, all of the things. If you're a fan of the Salacious Players Club by Sarah Kate, or even the Wicked Villain series by Katie Roberts, I highly, highly, highly recommend giving this one a go. They are a steamy good time, and we love that. Each book follows a different couple, but this is a series that I definitely recommend reading in order. Given the menages that they all have, you're going to want to read them in order. Trust me. They all intertwine, they all intermingle, but with each couple, we get like a new scene and a new kind of like development about their relationship dynamic. You'll understand the menages and how they happen more, and yeah, anyway, just read them in order. I do want to touch on the menages because they all have FF scenes, and I just love it so much. Starting out, we have Three Simple Rules. This is book one in the series, and this follows Logan and Evie. Evie has her dream job. I can't remember exactly what she does, but it's like something within marketing. She loves her job despite her boss being a complete a-hole. One day she is going over current like work thing, and she realizes that there was a printing error. She goes to her boss and she was like, please don't fire me. How can I do this? Like, can I pay for it myself to have them reprinted? And he's like, sure, yeah, it's just $10,000, which this is money that Evie does not have. She's like, how am I going to pay for this? But then she's got a light bulb that goes off because her best friend Peyton works at this club called the Blindfold Club. This is a very illegal club where you can go to sell your body for sexual favors and make a lot of money. So Evie's like, I'm gonna have to do this. She does. One thing about this club, it's called the Blindfold Club. So the women who are laying on the table waiting to be bought or purchased, they are blindfolded while this is going on. And it's up to the buyer if they want to take the blindfold off or if they're going to keep it on. She's on the table with her blindfold on. The guy and her negotiator, because there's a negotiator, is also in the room. They're negotiating the price, and they end up doing it. At the very end, the guy takes her mask off and it's her freaking boss. So that was crazy, which like really confuses her because she's like, you've always been so rude to me. Like, why are you doing this? What is going on? And he's like, what do you mean? Like, I've always had a thing for you. There's a really funny scene in this after this happens. Evie and Logan are at his apartment or place, whatever. They do the deed, and she walks out of the room. His mom actually walks into the house and knows her name right away. Like, I'm so happy to finally meet you. And she's like, how the heck do you know my name? In the back of your mind, you're like, oh my God, Logan has been talking about Evie to his mom. Like, he's in love and love. This is an age gap. Logan's 30 plus. Evie, I think, is like 25 or something like that, in her mid 20s somewhere. It is boss employee, workplace, forbidden, close proximity, sex club. And again, there is an MFF scene within this, and it's just so hot. Moving on to Three Hard Lessons. This is book two, and this follows Dominic and Peyton. And Peyton is Evie's best friend. So Peyton's been working at this club for a while, and she loves her job. She loves what she does. One night, she is with a very new client that she's never been with before, and they immediately hit it off. So this one's definitely insta lust, insta lovey. She starts to feel these emotions that she's never felt before, and she is desperate to cling on to that. Dominic is actually Logan's friend and is in town visiting from Japan and is looking for some companionship, and that's why he had gone to the Blindfold Club in the first place, which this is something that he would have never normally done, but given his circumstances, he does it. And of course, at the end, he is glad that he had done so. After their moment together, the two decide to spend the next 2 weeks together. Peyton goes with him back to Japan, and the two spend a lot of time together and really work out a dominant, submissive type of relationship. And the two figure out how they would like to pursue an actual relationship. This one is also age gap. Dominic is 32 and Peyton is again in her mid 20s. I think she's like 26. So we have sex worker, sex club, insta love, forced proximity, and the dom sub dynamic. There is also an MFF scene in this, but this one takes place while they're in Japan, so it's not with anybody within the Blindfold Club. Then we have Three Little Mistakes. This is book 3 in the series, and right off the bat, I'm just going to tell you it's my favorite. This one follows Joseph and M. Joseph is actually the owner of the Blindfold Club. And to be honest, I really didn't think I was going to like Joseph or his story at all, but he really grew on me. This one is a very big age gap. He is like double her age. So Joseph is 38 and she is 23. So she's just the baby. And she's also a good girl, and he is obviously a bad boy. Joseph and M actually meet at one of his clubs. Joseph owns a lot of different businesses. The Blindfold Club is separate to this. They meet at one of his clubs. She's dancing. She is trying to kind of like branch off from her good girl persona and do bad things. So that's why she's here. When she's approached by this guy who doesn't know the word no, and Joseph kind of protects her and stands up for her. Then he kicks her out of his club and takes her home. And on the way to taking her home, they start to get a little bit hot, but she's quickly like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. And he's like, call me when you figure it out because I don't have time for these games. Some time passes. They both can't stop thinking about each other. They decide to do a little Dom sub dynamic. Joseph had sensed that she had kind of wanted to let herself go a little bit, but given her like good girl persona, she just really couldn't take that, and so he's like, let me do this, let me handle this for you. So then starts their dynamic together. So we got, of course, an age gap. He's 15 years older than her. He's the sex club owner. It is forbidden. There's breath play in this. Oh, also, Em actually has a hard time coming to completion. She is like in her head a lot. Joseph really helps Em come out of that. And I just really loved seeing that. I feel like that's not written a lot in books, and I really loved that moment. Really appreciated that one. We also get a menage scene in this one, and it's between Joseph, M, Peyton, and Dominic. Also, because I said at the beginning, they're all menaging with each other. Okay, they be freaking in here. And so Joseph and Peyton used to hook up, and it was purely just sexual, like no strings attached, nothing else. And there's a scene in this when Dominic is like really proves his dominance with Peyton, and Joseph's like, hats off to you, man. You got it. You win this. Anyway, it was just really funny to see that. But again, super hot. Really love this one. My favorite of the series thus far. Then we have Three Dirty Secrets. This follows Silas and Reagan. Reagan actually works at Joseph's club, works at the Blindfold Club. She is the negotiator. So she doesn't sell her goods. She is the one selling the goods. This is because Reagan is a dominant. So she cannot give up that, like, she cannot be submissive in that nature. And she's also not originally from the area. She had relocated to this area to kind of get away from her past. And she's also an undercover FBI agent. And the reason why she's working at the Blindfold Club is to get a hold of this very bad man there and take him down. Since she is trying to move on from her past, she has some scars that she wants to get rid of. She goes to a tattoo artist to get some stuff covered up. This is when we meet Silas. Silas is a side tattoo artist. He's a photographer. He's very talented. He's very artistic, and he's got a vision. The two hit it off, have their moment. She's never been one to bow down or submit to another guy. So when she finds herself doing that with Silas, she's shook. And she's like, I never thought this would be me. Like, I never thought this would happen. And it kind of scares her a little bit, but also she's undercover. So she doesn't have time to fool around. She's got to focus on her job and what she's got to do. She tries to stay away from Silas, and they obviously can't. This one was super hot, super good, especially because they're both Doms. So they're both fighting for that dominance with each other. And it is just so hot. And then we enter Tara, who is one of the workers from the Blindfold Club series. And Reagan and Tara have a really good relationship. And Reagan gets with Silas. Tara ends up entering their group as well. Not permanently, but Silas and Reagan enjoy topping Tara together. And oh my God, it's just so freaking good. It's so freaking good. Okay. And obviously, my second favorite of the series. We have tattoo artist, photographer. Oh my God, I forgot to mention the photography scene that I love so much. 'Cause he's got a vision, he's an artist. He offers to take photos of Reagan, and during a photo shoot, it gets very hot and steamy. He's recording to end up doing it, and it's like set on a timer to like click every so often. Oh my God, the vision seeing that like in my head was amazing. He also has a pierced schlong. It's secret identity, undercover, sex club. It's like dominant with somewhat submissive behavior in it. And Reagan is bi. She's proud. And because the club gets in some trouble because Reagan is undercover, we need a lawyer. And this brings us to Three Sweet Nothings, which follows Kyle and Ruby. So we meet Kyle at the end of Three Dirty Secrets, and Kyle is actually a lawyer and is also Peyton's brother. You can see how the connections start to go deeper the further and we get into the series. Kyle ends up jumping on the case, and he's also like a divorce lawyer as well. So he's working on another case when he runs into Ruby, and him and Ruby used to have a fling back in college, but they ended on not so great terms. This is kind of seeing like, can they rekindle this? But Ruby is super standoffish when it comes to him because she's not ready to get her heart broken again. She doesn't want to go through that again. And then we enter Joseph, and Joseph is like the ultimate Dom. He helps them see their relationship for what it is, and that was their menage scene. So it was actually MFFM. Kyle and Ruby, which also their only connection to the club is that he was a lawyer for them. So he's very new to this whole like world, but he is all here for it. So again, the scene is Kyle, Ruby, Joseph, and M. And it is so good. Really put them on the map for me. Kyle and Ruby realize that they have put themselves at a distance for all of these years when they didn't need to. And a lot of this heavily relied on a miscommunication kind of thing. Then we have the last book in the series, and this is Three Guilty Pleasures. And this follows Tara and Grant. And Tara, again, is the submissive to Silas and Reagan. So she's got their relationship dynamic, but she is just like a plus one. She's not actually a part of their relationship. They're not a throuple by any means. She sees what they have and she desperately wants that, but she doesn't ever think that she'll be able to have it because she loves her job. And like, what guy or what girl is going to be okay with her line of work? So then we enter Grant. He goes to the Blindfold Club with ill intentions, to be honest. He gets there, he sees Tara, she's the one blindfolded. Reagan is the one negotiating. Reagan kind of realizes that he is not there for the right reasons. He's kicked out, he leaves. Then fast forward to a different time. Tara and Grant meet on a separate occasion without her blindfold, like, they actually meet face to face. So Grant is unique. Like, he plays rugby, but he's also a musician, and Tara, she is a ballet dancer. So they meet at this like thing where there's like music and ballet together. They kind of hit it off from there. They want to go more into a relationship dynamic, but again, Tara is a submissive to Silas and Reagan. So she goes to them and is like, hey, I know we have this very special, unique thing going on, but I'm kind of wanting to pursue something of my own. So Silas and Reagan implement a no touching rule for Tara and Grant, and I love a no touching rule. This really brings on the angst like none other because they can't do anything and they're like trying to get around it. He has her ride a toy and they pretend that it's him. It's just like those kind of things where you're like, oh my God, you feel scandalized. Future me here because the rest of this footage got deleted somehow. Anyway, besides the point. So Tara and Grant, they really hit it off. They decided to take their relationship to the next level. So he's like, I want to meet your doms. Like, that way we can, move on and do our own thing. They do. But remember, Grant and Tara were about to hook up in the Blindfold Club, and Reagan was there and kicked him out. So when they all meet, this is revealed and it's kind of a mess. They have to figure out how they can get through it, whatever. Push comes to shove. Obviously, they want to pursue it. and they do a scene that is so freaking good. So, because, oh my God. So, Grant is 100% okay with what Tara is doing. He's on board with it. He's like, it kind of it gets him a little bit hot and bothered, you know? He gets excited for it. Silas, Reagan, and Tara do a scene together while Grant watches. So he's being cut cold, and oh my God, it's so good. This was a very good wrap up to the series. It was really nice to be able to see Tara get her own relationship. She never thought that she would, especially with somebody who is so open minded and is down for her. So, of course, we have a submissive, but Grant is not really a dom per se, but he will do whatever for her. We've got some musician, rugby, ballet moments within this. Tara is also working towards her other goal of being a ballet dancer. So we see that growth of her in there as well, because that's something that she also wants to pursue but never thought would be possible. And Grant is with her every step of the way and is holding her hand throughout it. So it's just really special love to this one. Sensory play, wax play, the cuckolding, and there is some DP in this as well. I loved this series so much. If I had to rank them, so from my favorite to my least favorite, my favorite being Three Little Mistakes, Three Dirty Secrets, Three Guilty Pleasures, Three Hard Lessons, Three Sweet Nothings, and Three Simple Rules. Hands down, recommend the series. If you've read the series, let me know your thoughts down below. If you haven't read the series, get on it. This is the one, y'all. This is one. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.